The laundry came out of the machine smelling wrong. Not dirty exactly. It didn't look like there were any stains. Not like it had never been washed. No, it was definitely clean laundry. Something more specific than that, a damp, low smell, almost sweet in the wrong way, the kind that settles into the fabric and stays there no matter how long you hang the clothes on the line. You put them through again. You use more detergent this time. You add one of those little scented beads the commercials say will fix everything. And when you pull the load out the second time, the clothes smell like detergent on top of that other smell. And underneath it is still there, faint but unmistakable, like something wet that was never allowed to dry properly. That is not a laundry problem. That is a machine problem. And the machine has been that way for a long time. You just did not know it yet. What I am going to share with you costs somewhere around $3 at any grocery store. 2 pantry ingredients that have been in farmhouse kitchens for well over 100 years. And when you understand what is actually happening inside that drum, the thing that is causing the smell, the gray film on the gasket, the dingy look to clothes you know you washed, you are going to feel something between relief and mild irritation. Relief because the fix is simple. Irritation because you have probably been making the problem worse every single week without realizing it. The way most cleaning products are formulated, they are not solving this issue. They are feeding it, making the buildup even thicker. Stay with me and I will explain exactly what I mean. People sometimes ask me how I got started talking about this kind of thing, and the honest answer is that I never thought of it as anything special. My name is Annie Hemingway. I grew up on a homestead tucked into a Blue Ridge mountain hollow in the Appalachian hills, and keeping things clean, really clean, not just surface clean, was simply part of keeping the household alive. We did not have a modern machine for most of my childhood. We washed by hand in a big wooden barrel that had to be scrubbed out and aired after every use without fail. My mother was strict about that. She said a wash barrel that sits wet and sealed is not a clean barrel, no matter how much soap went through it, and she was right in a way that I did not fully appreciate until I was grown and had my own home and my own machine and watched what happened when I forgot that lesson one winter. Keeping clothes clean, keeping the tools you use to clean them even cleaner. That was the work, and I have been doing it for well over 50 years. If that kind of knowledge is useful to you, I would be glad to have you subscribe. There is more of it where this came from, and all of it costs about what your grandmother already had under the kitchen sink. Drop a comment and let me know. Has your laundry ever come out of the machine smelling worse than it went in? Or do you have a particular spot on your machine that you cannot seem to get clean no matter what you try? Let me know. Tell me where you are watching from, too. I love hearing from you all. I read every one of those comments, and I mean that. It matters to me. One more thing before we get into it. If you would rather listen while your hands are busy around the house, I am on Spotify now. Some folks find it easier to hear this while they are folding laundry or scrubbing the kitchen than to sit and watch. The code is right on the screen, or you will find the link down below for your convenience. Now, let's talk about the machine itself. The smell you are dealing with is not coming from your clothes. It is coming from the place your clothes get washed in, and there is a specific reason for it that has nothing to do with how careful you are or how much detergent you use. Every time you run a wash cycle, something is being left behind in the dark. Modern liquid detergents, even the ones marketed as clean rinsing, leave a faint residue behind. Every load carries in body oils from worn clothing, trace minerals from tap water, fine lint and organic matter that does not always flush fully through the drain. A single cycle leaves almost nothing, keeping the drum bright and shiny. But cycle after cycle after cycle, over weeks and months, that residue builds up in layers on the inside of the drum, along the rubber gasket that seals the door, inside the dispenser drawer where you pour the soap, in the small channels and channels of the machine that warm, damp air passes through after every wash. And then the door gets closed. The machine sits sealed, holding in all that moisture. It is warm inside because it was just running. The residue on every surface is wet and ready for growth. The rubber gasket folds over on itself and traps moisture in its creases. The dispenser drawer holds a puddle of diluted detergent. The drum itself is just damp enough to start causing real problems. This is, and I want you to understand exactly what this is, a near-perfect growing environment for mold and mildew. Not a hard one to fix, it's actually quite simple, but a very effective one if left alone to grow. Here is the part that surprises most people. The more detergent you use, the worse this gets. Excess soap means more residue left behind in the machine. And fabric softener, which a great many households use every single load, coats surfaces in the machine the same way it coats fabric fibers. It makes the residue stickier and harder to rinse away over time. The products you are buying to make your laundry cleaner are, in a very direct sense, contributing to the buildup that makes your machine smell. That smell you keep noticing? Mold and mildew have a signature odor. It is musty, slightly sour, sometimes faintly earthy in scent. When your machine has that odor living in it, every load of laundry that tumbles around inside picks up traces of it. The clothes absorb it the way fabric absorbs everything, which is, after all, why you wash them in the first place. A dirty drum means dirty clothes, no matter how they look. They are not visibly dirty. They look fine to the eye. Not with stains. There's nothing you can see. But carrying something you did not put there and cannot wash out because the thing causing it is still in the machine. The fix for this is not another product. It is not a specialty tablet or a cleaning pod or an enzymatic spray. Those things exist, and some of them work to a degree, but none of them get at the root of the problem the way two things that have been sitting in American kitchens since before your grandmother was born can get at it. White vinegar, baking soda. The next time you are near your machine, open that door and look at the rubber gasket, the thick ring that runs around the inside edge where the drum meets the door frame. Peel back the fold of rubber and look at what is living in there. It's often not pretty. If you see gray or black spotting, or feel a slick film, or catch that sour smell when you lean close, that is what has been riding along with every load of laundry you have washed. You did not put it there on purpose. It happens over time. The machine collected it over time. It's just a part of the process. And the good news is that the same chemistry your great-grandmother used to keep her wash barrel honest is exactly what will clear it out. White vinegar costs somewhere between $3 and $4 for a gallon jug at any grocery store or big box store. Plain distilled white vinegar, not apple cider, not cleaning vinegar concentrate, just the standard gallon with the plain label. Baking soda runs under $2 for a standard box. It's very affordable. You are looking at $5 to $6 total, and that jug of vinegar alone will last you the better part of a year if you use it the way I am about to describe. Keep both of them on the shelf near the machine from now on, because this is going to become a monthly habit, and the easier it is to reach, the more likely you are to do it. Before you run a single cycle, do the manual work first. It's the most important part. This is the step people skip, and it is the reason the smell comes back within a few weeks, even when the cycles go fine. The machine cannot wash itself in the places that matter most. You have to help it. You have to get your hands in there. Don't be afraid to get a little dirty. Start with the gasket, that thick rubber ring around the door opening. Peel back the fold and look inside the crease all the way around. Dampen a clean cotton cloth or an old rag with straight white vinegar, no diluting, and wipe the inside of that fold all the way around the drum, slowly and firmly. Work into the crease. Make sure you get all the way back there. If there is visible dark spotting, press the cloth against it and hold it there for a moment before wiping. Give the vinegar time to work against the mold rather than just skimming over the surface. Some buildup will come right off. It's a satisfying feeling to see it gone. Some heavier spotting may need a second pass. Just keep at it. Use a fresh section of cloth each time so you are not spreading what you wiped off back onto a clean area. When the gasket is done, pull out the dispenser drawer, the tray where detergent and fabric softener go. On most machines, it lifts straight out with a firm pull, sometimes with a small release tab you press first. Take it to the sink and rinse it under hot running water. If there is a sticky film inside the compartment, scrub it with an old toothbrush and a little straight vinegar. Rinse it completely and set it aside to air for a few minutes before putting it back. That drawer holds standing liquid between washes. Left alone, it becomes a reservoir of exactly the kind of residue that feeds the problem. Now wipe down the inside of the drum itself with the vinegar cloth, just a general pass along the walls and around the bottom. You are not scrubbing hard here, just removing the loose surface film before the hot cycle does the deeper work. Put the drawer back in. Close the machine. Now we start the cycle. For a front loader, pour 2 cups of plain white vinegar directly into the detergent dispenser drawer, the main wash compartment, not the softener cup. Set the machine to its hottest wash cycle, the highest heat possible. The longest one available if you have the option. Take your time with this. Do not add laundry. Keep it empty. Do not add anything else, just the vinegar. Run the cycle completely through. Let the machine do the work. For a top loader, pour 2 cups of white vinegar directly into the drum before starting. Set it to the largest load size, the hottest water setting, and let it fill and agitate for about a minute. Then pause the cycle and let the water and vinegar sit in the drum for 45 minutes to an hour before letting it finish. That soaking time is doing the work the rubber gasket wipe down was doing by hand, giving the acid in the vinegar time to loosen mineral deposits and break down mold at the surface level, rather than just rinsing through. Wipe it down with your vinegar cloth. This is not strictly necessary for the smell, but it takes 2 minutes and keeps the whole unit honest. This is not strictly necessary for the smell, but it takes 2 minutes and keeps the whole unit honest. When the vinegar cycle finishes, do not transfer laundry in yet. Wait for a moment. Run a second cycle immediately. No excuses. For the second cycle, sprinkle half a cup of baking soda directly into the drum for both front loaders and top loaders. Run the hottest cycle again, full length, this time with the secret weapon. The baking soda works differently than the vinegar does, and this is important to understand plainly. Vinegar is acidic, and it dissolves mineral scale and kills mold by disrupting the environment mold needs to survive. Baking soda is alkaline, and it neutralizes odors at the source rather than masking them, while the mild abrasive quality of it gently scrubs the drum surface as the water tumbles it around. Running them separately, rather than together, which some people try, lets each one do its specific job without the two canceling each other out. They are doing different things, and they do those things best when they each get their own cycle, one after the other. When the second cycle finishes, open the door and lean in and smell the drum. See the difference. What you are smelling for is the absence of that sour, musty odor, and you should find it mostly or entirely gone. Success. If the machine has been neglected for a long time, there may be a faint trace remaining, and the monthly routine described in the next part of this teaching will clear that over time. One treatment handles a reasonably maintained machine. A badly neglected one may need 2 sessions a week apart before it is fully right. Leave the door open when you are done. It's the best way to prevent future issues. Prop it ajar and leave it that way. Fresh air is your friend. That single habit, leaving the door open between washes, is the other half of this fix, and it costs nothing at all. A sealed machine stays damp inside. An open one dries out. Mold cannot take hold in a surface that dries completely between uses, which is precisely why the old wash tubs on the Homestead were never covered and never stored wet. Air is the oldest cleaning tool there is, and it is still free. I want to be straight with you about something, because telling you what this method will not do matters more to me than leaving you with a rosier picture than the truth warrants. If your machine has been sitting sealed and uncleaned for years, and I mean years, not months, the mold living in the gasket folds may have gone deep enough that vinegar and baking soda will reduce it significantly, but not eliminate it entirely. You will know this is the case if you do the manual wipe down, and the spotting does not come fully off even after 2 firm passes with straight vinegar. Or if after running both cycles you peel back the gasket fold and can still see black rooted into the rubber itself rather than sitting on the surface. Surface mold cleans quite easily with a quick wipe. Rooted mold, the kind that has been growing undisturbed long enough to work its way into the material, may mean the gasket needs replacing. A replacement gasket for most common machine models runs between $20 and $40 and can be ordered directly through the manufacturer or found at an appliance parts store. It is not a complicated job, and there are straightforward guides available for almost every machine make. but I would rather tell you that plainly now than have you run 3 rounds of vinegar cycles wondering why the smell is not fully gone, when the answer is that the rubber itself has been compromised. The other honest limit: if your laundry has been coming out with visible gray or dingy discoloration, not just smell but actual dulling of fabric, that is a separate issue that may involve mineral buildup from hard water depositing on fiber over many washes. The vinegar cycles will help with this over time because vinegar is effective against mineral scale, but heavily dulled fabrics may take several washes in a clean machine before they fully recover their brightness. Be patient with it. The machine being clean is the foundation. The machine being clean is the foundation. The fabrics follow. Just give it time. The monthly routine is simple enough that there is no reason to forget it, and once you have done it the first time, the whole process takes less than an hour of your actual attention. The rest is just cycle time while you do something else around the house. On the first weekend of every month, before you run your regular laundry, do this. Wipe the gasket fold with straight vinegar on a clean cloth. Pull out the dispenser drawer and rinse it under hot water. If it looks clean, a rinse is enough. If there is any film, the toothbrush and a little vinegar. Run the hot vinegar cycle with 2 cups in the drum or dispenser. Run the baking soda cycle with half a cup in the drum. Leave the door open when you are done. That is the whole system, simple and effective. Between monthly cleanings, 2 habits will keep the machine from backsliding. The first is leaving the door ajar after every single load, not cracked, properly open enough that air moves through the drum. The second is pulling the dispenser drawer out an inch or so after each wash and leaving it slightly open as well, because the dispenser channel is one of the dampest spots in the machine and benefits from the same airflow logic as the drum. Neither of these simple habits cost you anything. Neither takes more than a second. They are the kind of small, consistent habits the old homesteaders built into every task because they understood that preventing a problem is a fraction of the work of fixing one after it has taken hold. If you have a front loader, add one more step every 2 weeks or so. After the last load of the day, take a dry cloth and wipe the gasket fold dry before you leave the door open. Front loaders collect more standing moisture in that rubber crease than top loaders do because of the angle of the drum and the way water sits in the seal. A quick wipe before airing removes what gravity left behind. Washing machine cleaning products are a growing category in the laundry aisle. There are single-use tablets sold in packs of 6 for $12. There are monthly subscription pods at $15 a shipment. There are specialty sprays for the gasket alone. The companies that make them have done a reasonable job of advertising the problem while quietly steering the solution toward something that needs to be repurchased every single month. What none of those products will tell you is that plain distilled white vinegar costs $3 to $4. You are looking at $5 a year against $180 a year for a monthly pod subscription. In most cases better, because they are working on the actual chemistry of the problem, dissolving scale, killing mold at the surface, neutralizing odor. The cleaning product industry is not malicious. They are selling solutions to real problems, and some of those solutions work to a degree. The issue is simpler than malice and in some ways more frustrating. There is no profit model here. The advice that serves you best is the advice that generates no recurring revenue for anyone. It gets passed down instead, or it used to before that kind of passing down stopped being common. The women who raised me passed it down. That is why I know it, through lived experience, and that is why I'm telling you now. Simple and effective advice for everyone. My mother had a saying about the wash barrel that I did not fully appreciate until I was old enough. She said that a woman who lets her washing go dirty is not a dirty woman. She is a busy one. The tool comes first, always. If the tool is clean, everything that passes through it has a fighting chance. If the tool is not, it does not matter how much soap you use or how hot the water runs. She was talking about the big wooden wash tub we kept on the back porch of the farmhouse. It was a heavy thing, dark with age, and she treated it like it was a member of the household with its own set of requirements. After every wash day, and wash day on that homestead was a full day's work, hauling water and heating it, and scrubbing and wringing and hanging everything on the lines, strung between the old oaks along the side yard. Then she would turn it on its side to drain completely and leave it that way until the next wash day. I asked her once why she bothered when she was already tired from a full day and the barrel was going to get wet again the next time anyway. She looked at me the way mothers look at children who have asked a question with an obvious answer and said, "Because what you wash your clothes in is what goes into your clothes." Simple as that. Just keep it clean and it'll serve you well. I have thought about that answer many times over the past 50 years. It's a lesson that stays with you. It is as true of a modern washing machine as it was of that old barrel on the back porch. The container shapes what comes out of it, a simple truth for any household tool. Folding a fresh, clean towel is the reward for a job well done. A neglected one makes laundry that carries something you did not intend to put in there. My mother knew this not because she studied it, but because she lived it, and the women who taught her lived it before that. That barrel never smelled, not once in all the years I can remember. Not once. The simple habit kept it perfectly fresh. And our clothes, work clothes, church clothes, the quilts and linens, came off that line smelling like sun and air. That is what clean is supposed to smell like, pure and natural. So here is where things stand. Let's recap the essentials. You need 1 gallon of plain distilled white vinegar, $3 to $4 at any grocery store. You need 1 box of baking soda, under $2. It lasts for many cycles. You need a clean cotton cloth and an old toothbrush you do not mind putting to work. Before you run anything, open the machine and wipe the gasket fold all the way around. Pull out the dispenser drawer and rinse it clean under hot water. Wipe down the drum walls while you are in there. Get every corner. Run a full hot cycle with 2 cups of vinegar in the dispenser or drum. If you have a top loader, let it soak for 45 minutes in the middle of the cycle before finishing. When that cycle ends, run a second hot cycle with half a cup of baking soda straight into the drum. Let both cycles run completely through. When you are done, open the door and leave it open. Leave the dispenser drawer cracked open as well. Let the machine breathe. An open machine is a healthy machine. $5 to $6 one time, a few minutes of attention once a month. If this kind of knowledge is useful to you, I hope you will subscribe. It all comes from decades of keeping a household running on common sense. I want you to think about this genuinely before you answer. How long has it been? A few months? Or has it been longer than you'd like to admit? A few years? Never? And you did not realize it needed doing? Sometimes we just don't realize what our machines need until it's pointed out. Leave your answer in the comments along with where you are watching from. You will not be the only one with that answer, and sometimes it helps just to know that. The problem we talked about today does not stop at the washing machine. It has a way of finding every damp, sealed corner of a home. Bathroom grout holds it. The spaces behind and beneath things hold it. The spaces behind and beneath things hold it, quietly taking up residence. Basement walls invite it in after a wet season. Be vigilant. The same principles that cleared your machine will serve you in those places too. That thread of knowledge runs all the way through the old Appalachian approach to keeping a home. Your grandmother knew that a clean home does not happen all at once. It happens in small, faithful acts, repeated season after season. You have one of those habits now, a simple, powerful tool for your home. Use it, keep your home clean and your family healthy. You have one of those habits now, a simple, powerful tool for your home. It's time to put it into action. Use it. Keep your home clean and your family healthy for years to come. Thank you for watching.